Hello, my friends. I welcome you to another episode of Aditya Talks. And today I welcome Neha Singh. And she is an expert financial trainer, and she gives a lot of wisdom, and she shares a lot of knowledge to women community on financial freedom and financial literacy. And she is going to share her experience in this industry and how we can become financially literate and manage our wealth properly. Welcome to the show, ma'am. How are you doing?
Very well, Aditya. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to talk to you and to your audience.
It's
So,
my honor,
thanks a lot.
ma'am. It's my honor. I think
You're
I will
doing such
learn.
great work. I think the pleasure is mine.
I will learn a lot during this discussion, and uh, I just look forward to learning for the next 15 minutes. And viewers, stay tuned. So, ma'am, can you tell us, like, for the benefit of our viewers, can you tell us about yourself and how you reached this point in your life?
Sure. So I started as a young person. I was very, very focused on my studies. So I think I was a very good student. And my journey has always been of somebody who wanted to do something which is, little offbeat. So even though I was a topper, I never took I never took science. I took commerce. In our times, that used to be a very different thing to do. All toppers generally take science, then they do IIT. I mean, there was a path. So I always have believed that you follow your passion. So as a young person, I realized when I was in college, I was a commerce student and I was exploring what I wanted to do. And I came across this very wonderful book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay. And this book really throws a very interesting perspective around money, personal finance, creating assets, wealth. What does wealth mean? All of that. So that was actually, Aditya, the trigger for me to start looking at personal finance. I started reading more about it. I said, Arey, there is this whole new, world out there which nobody told me. So my journey started in finance. Actually, even after I'd done commerce, I'm a BCom graduate. It started with this book. And from there, my career, I started in financial services. I dropped out of financial services. I changed my path. I've done other things. I've been a strategy consultant for many years with a company called Deloitte. I have had a career in the travel industry as well. So I am somebody who has done many careers. And finally, um, many years later, I've gone back a full circle to something I love, which is personal finance. And I have always been an advocate of women empowerment, gender equality. So I think it just was waiting for me to find the right, time in my life to get started with something I really loved. So I've had a very interesting career across 2, 3 industries.
Yes. This was a really interesting journey you shared, and it was kind of a roller coaster. And Rich Dad Poor Dad is a very interesting book, and luckily I have
Absolutely.
been also been able to read it. I read it 2 years ago, and it opened my mind to. I thought money was really boring, but it has a different side to it. And when I began to
Absolutely.
explore that, it was just the beginning, and after that I just dived into it, and now I'm here. Now,
Lovely.
can you tell us about your journey in spreading importance of financial literacy? How did you begin in this in on this path, and how did you get into this field?
So, actually, like I said, I've studied personal finance. I've been doing it for myself for so many years, more than 15, 16 years for myself, for my investments. My journey with literacy actually started as a experiment, to be honest. I'm not a teacher or educator by profession. Okay. I am somebody who believes in the power of personal finance. I've experienced it myself. And all these years, honestly, and I've, like I said, I've worked in different industries. One of the things which is very common, Aditya, is that women in our country, whatever kind of work they do, or even if they don't do any work, they don't go to an office. When you talk to them about everything, like their kids, the health, the family relationships, pretty much anything, career, they're very well rounded, they're very well aware. But whenever you start talking to them about money, investments, taxation, how do you manage your savings, who is taking care of your the financial goals of the house, they all take a backseat. So this was something I had been observing for many years across all the companies I've worked with. And the mission actually which we have at Womoneysta is to go out and change this narrative, break this barrier. I am a big believer that women can do anything that they put their mind to. And I feel that why not money? Why not have a voice in the money area? Why not take control of financial decisions? Which is why I felt the first step is literacy. पहले नॉलेज मिलेगी तो लोगों को कॉन्फिडेंस आता है कि ओके मैं इसके बारे में कुछ कर सकती हूँ, मैं इसके बारे में समझ सकती हूँ. क्योंकि नॉलेज के बिना यू ऑलवेज फील unaware, right? I mean, even as young people, you can understand the power of knowledge. Unless you don't have that information, aapko confidence nahi aata. So that's how the journey started with literacy, because I thought obviously they need to understand this in a very simple manner. And from there, we can then start building what else we need to do. So that's how I just took a dive. And it's been a very wonderful journey. We've reached out to more than 10,000 women. We've managed to have a huge community of women learners who are becoming financially smart through our programs. So that's how it is. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith.
Yes, your cause is really commendable, and you have done so much. I think women, and not only women, everybody should have a little bit of understanding of financial literacy. And a lot of people in India do not get the exposure to this, and they are fooled by many people. So
True.
getting just a basic understanding of things and managing it makes you responsible, and actually makes you understand the value of money as well. So
I think it also makes you feel more in control.
Yes. So I think this is really interesting. And also, can you tell us about, like, how throughout your course, how financial literacy has impacted women, and how does it affect their lives after joining your programs?
So I always say this one thing, that, for men, financial courses or financial knowledge is about getting maximum return on investment. But for women, financial knowledge is about getting maximum return on life. And what I mean by that is that women who have control of their finances are capable of taking very important decisions, making choices, and ultimately it is like a tool for their freedom. Okay. So I don't know if, you can feel this, but I can share a few examples of what kind of reactions we get when women do these kind of courses. So there are women who are homemakers for many, many years in their families. They have never seen insurance papers. They don't know how much insurance is there in their family. So in case something was to happen, some, unfortunate event, they are left high and dry. They have no idea. Right. So a lot of women have told us that first time after doing our courses, they went back and they checked the insurance papers in their house. There are women who have so much savings, but they have never done any investments. They have never felt that they can do any investment on their own. So there are many women who take the first mutual fund investment, first stock investment after doing our courses. There are women who come back who now managing investments for their families. Their husband is also saying, okay, you only manage it because you have done so much time, you have spent so much energy you're putting in this. So you only take care of this. So there's a lot of agency, a lot of control, a lot of confidence that women start feeling when they do these kind of programs, when they take that time for themselves.
Yes. I can't see. Hello?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So now, can you tell us about Womoneysta, and how does it help women achieve financial literacy, and how can we support your cause? How can women get involved and contact Womoneysta?
Sure. I mean, we run multiple courses, so you can always check out our website, Womoneysta, Womoneysta, womoneysta.com. And we have our courses up there. One can come and sign up for the courses. We run a series of, online free webinars, all that. So they can go and definitely check that out and come and see whatever, what kind of topic interests them. And yeah. We have also, in fact, launched something called Your Money System, which is a one-on-one personalized consultation. So they can always book a slot with us and have a one-on-one conversation if they would like to understand how do they really move forward in their financial journey. क्या करना चाहिए उन्हें?
So I'll just definitely link the website in the description below. So you can just go in the description and check out ma'am's website, and you will find a lot of resources there, and you will learn a lot from the resources as well. And if you have more confusion, you can of course contact ma'am's program, your sisters. So thank you for sharing that, ma'am. And for people, planning financial freedom early on in life is very crucial, and that way you can have a seamless life, and with very good financial freedom as well. So how can we plan this out and just be geared up for success?
Yeah. So few basic things. I think it's really very simple. I think it's like having good health. There are some basic principles if you want to be healthy. What are those basic principles? That you want to make sure that you're eating nutritious food, well-balanced diet, you're getting adequate water, adequate sleep, exercise for 30 minutes, right? Am I right, Aditya? These are like
Yes.
basic principles of health, right?
Yes.
Similarly, when you want to become financially healthy, there are some very basic principles of being financially healthy. So the first principle is that you should start saving 20% of your salary as soon as you start getting your salary, as soon as you start earning anything. Now that can happen from the age of 10, it can happen from the age of 20, whatever it is. It's the first very basic principle, because there is nothing when it comes to there is no other power than time when it comes to growing your money. Compounding will work over a period of time. So earlier you start, even if you're starting with just a small amount, even if it's just 100 rupees, it's about bringing the discipline. So try to do 20%. If you cannot do 20%, try to do as less as whatever, bare minimum that you can do, but make it a habit. The second thing is, I feel, going away from a traditional mindset which has been given to us, in by our parents, and believing that everything that they have taught us is the only way that we can do this. What I mean is that a lot of young people are scared of doing something in this space which is not approved by their family. For example, if parents are saying, okay, you just buy land or just buy a house, I have noticed a lot of people will just go and invest in a property. They will not put any energy in learning about different asset classes, different products. Where should I go? So the second thing which I think you need to do is bring knowledge into your life around this. Because with every generation, there are new things, right? We don't wear the same clothes that our parents used to wear. Right?
Yes.
We have a different way of dressing up. We have a different way of talking. अभी अब वो जब वो नहीं चलता तो why the investments also we have to borrow the mindset. So ये काफी problem होती है. We borrow mindset and then we are stuck in that mindset. So I think that is the second rule. And the third rule, which I think everybody should follow, is to automate this process. You have to use, instead of thinking this is a something like motivation या determination या मुझे ऐसा कुछ करना है, आप simply एक सिस्टम बना सकते हो कि आपकी जब सैलरी आएगी या जब भी इनकम आएगी, विद इन द फर्स्ट वीक इटसेल्फ एक अमाउंट है वो आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में चला जाएगा. So there are these 2-3 principles which I think can easily help anybody start accumulating wealth. So having your 20% of savings, learning about different asset classes, and third is to automate this process. Make a process and just automate. That's it.
Yes. So basically saving up money and investing and doing all of this to doing all of this to ensure your financial freedom and continue your flight. Just do it automatically and make it a part of your daily routine. Like you
Make
wake
it a
up and
part
you
of your day.
brush every day. Simple.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone save up. I think
Yes.
that is a really interesting take. And can you also tell us can you tell us how we can instill the youth of India with financial literacy? And so, like only 27% of young adults in India have financial literacy, and that is literally very low. Any tips you have for parents who want to raise awareness in their children from a young age, maybe from 8 to 9 years old, to so that they can maintain this habit to their adulthood?
Yes. I think it's I talk to women who are like adults. So I definitely feel that women have a big role in helping their children, because mothers have a big role in their children's lives. So if a mother is financially smart, indirectly or directly, her kid is also going to start becoming financially smart. So here are things which I think, from a parent perspective, I'm also a mom. So here are a few things which I would suggest to parents. And I'll also talk to young people what they can do. So the first thing from a parent perspective is that talk about money. Okay. I think one of the things which Indian parents don't like to do is they don't like to talk about money with their children. I don't know why. But I think it's one of the ways that we feel ki we are protecting our child by not telling them about, because money is seen as something very stressful. Okay. It has this negative connotation for adults many times. So the first thing which I feel is, just in a normal dinner table conversation, having conversation about wealth, assets, money, budgets, it should be something which is celebrated rather than hidden. Okay. I think that's one, because that gives a lot of, the child is very relaxed, because it's a very normal thing then for the child कि ये एक normal conversation है, ये कोई stressful conversation नहीं है. ठीक है.
हाँ जी.
As a child, in return, I would think asking questions. So for example, if you don't have a bank account till now, you should ask, what is a bank? Why do we go to the bank? What is there in a bank account? What is the difference between a saving account and a current account? What is the difference between a wallet and UPI? Like, how does one use that, right? Because these are things which young people today have access to. They are a lot of us can have bank accounts. A lot of kids can have bank accounts now. They can use their phones to do transactions. So asking questions can be very, very important for young adults to bring up their literacy. The second thing which I think parents need to do is to start creating a system. I don't know. Do you have a system of pocket money? Like where you get money every month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a pocket money system. I get
Yeah.
around 1,000 rupees, both from my mom and dad, and it directly goes to my gullak, where I save it.
Good luck.
Yes, and I use it
Yes.
when I need it, but not that much. It's just for savings.
So one of the things, very nice, right? So a lot of us as parents, we Indian parents, we also inculcate saving in our kids, right? By doing this, they're teaching you saving. But I'll give you a hack which I use with my daughter, and that's like the 3-jar principle. Okay. The 3-jar principle is this, that every time you're getting your pocket money or whatever it is that you get every month, divide it into spending. What am I going to spend? What am I going to save? And what am I going to share? Okay, these are 3 jars, and keep this in see-through jars, open jars, not a closed gullak, because building wealth, when you see it as a young person and you see the money growing through a transparent jar, it gives a very different feeling to a young child. You really feel like, paise bad rahe. This is what wealth means, right? Behind the jar, you don't know. It's a surprise. Kya hai? Dikh nahi raha hai mujhko badhte hue. Right. So what I do with my daughter is also, she has 3 jars, and every time I give her money, I ask her, what are you going to spend on? What are you saving for? So she has a thought process, like right now she wants to buy a phone for herself. So I said, you're going to not get a phone from me. You're going to save up. So she's done the calculation and she knows that it's going to take her a year and a half or 2 or whatever. And she's promised me to do some chores so that she earns some extra. And she has a goal. Right? This is what even adults do. Even adults have to learn to have a goal in the future for which they have to save. So we can learn that as kids, right? So that's the second very practical thing which I do, and I suggest that every young person, every parent who's listening in, that's just a very practical hack that even you can use to start making money practical and easy.
I think that is really interesting. And as you said in the beginning, like when you talk about financial things in your house, or when you talk about the current finance state of your house, and talk about it to your like children, they get interested, and of course, children follow what their parents do, and then they get interested in the topic naturally, and then they begin to just have natural inquisitiveness around financial literacy and what exactly what my father is talking about or my mother is talking about. And
True.
then they begin then actually natural inquisitiveness is the greatest thing, because then they will try to learn about this topic on themselves. So
On their own, absolutely.
yes.
So then I've seen where I've trained some young people also. There was one girl, I still remember, she said, my dad makes me sign the checks, because I was asking them, have you all ever signed a check? So she said, my dad makes me sign the checks, like he makes me fill in the checks. So I thought it was such a beautiful thing, because the father is already training the kid about these financial transactions, making it real for her. So it's not something which is, so I like these kind of things, because I think they're so easy to do, and they break this barrier around.
Yeah, so I agree with you on that. And can you tell us about what some resources that our viewers should read to get an understanding of